Imagine going from this, a former naval sea base pearlescence manufacturing facility and boat school, a salt works and cannery, a former gas station, auto body shop and convenience store, an historic cannery, to this, a fabrication yard for tidal power generators with an additional space cleared for ongoing boat building and maintenance education, a $1 million indoor lobster pound capable of storing 125,000 pounds of lobster, a storage facility for vehicles and equipment, a mixed-use redevelopment plan including hotel and retail space. Brownfields are abandoned, idle, or underused industrial and commercial facilities sites where expansion or redevelopment is complicated by real or perceived environmental contamination. So how do we go from idle and unproductive property to an active business generating jobs and income? Success starts from the beginning. The regional advisory committees who help to select properties rank potential sites based on many factors, and strong redevelopment potential is high among them. Properties also score points where redevelopment is supported by available infrastructure. The real estate adage of location, location, location is epitomized by brownfield sites. As the remnants of our commercial and industrial past, they are often in great locations for redevelopment. We find brownfield sites on waterfronts, at busy crossroads, in historic downtowns and village centers. What is even better, those locations mean they are very close to existing infrastructure, so brownfields redevelopment is efficient for developers and municipalities alike. The 5 and 10 building in Machias, a brownfields success story, is in a historic downtown district on the waterfront and near available infrastructure. The Washington County Brownfields program has several successful brownfields redevelopments. A waterfront property in Eastport, in use for over 100 years, is a prime example of brownfield success. Earliest known uses include a salt works in 1910. Through the last century, uses include a sardine factory, a fish fertilizer plant, above-ground fuel storage, manufacture of fire-fighting foam, and a salmon farm feeding business. A salmon disease ceased all operations in 2000. Project manager Todd Coffin of GEI Consultants explains.
Yeah, the Lighthouse Lobster and Bait site, which is now fully developed, first came to our attention in 2011. And at that time it was called the Concy property because it was named after a former aquaculture operation that occurred at the site. And at the time, the city of Eastport had taken ownership of the property and put the land and buildings that were there, the old dilapidated cannery, out to bid for reuse. And the winning bidder was a local lobsterman, David Pottle, who had a vision to redevelop the property into an indoor lobster storage pound. The project was really neat because it involved really a grassroots effort by the new property owner, David Pottle, who ran a construction business as well as his lobstering business, and took it upon himself to demolish the buildings, to regrade the site, to bring in fill to cover the former cannery materials that were there, recycled concrete, crushed it and reused it on the site, stockpiled rebar and metal beams, and ended up recycling that as metal scrap. The Washington County Brownfields program brought funds to help Mr. Pottle, and today we see an operating lobster storage facility that is allowing better storage capacity, opportunities to bring the lobsters to the market in a more efficient, economically viable way, and really helping the resource in general. So we're pretty happy to be involved.
The project created 5 to 6 full-time jobs during construction and will generate enough product to employ 14 to 15 industry lobstermen. An added benefit of the project is public access to the water. Collaboration is key to a successful brownfields redevelopment project. In Pembroke, GEI Consultants conducted a Phase 1 environmental site assessment on behalf of the Washington County Council of Governments for the Maine Department of Transportation maintenance lot on Route 1. As shown in these excerpts, the Phase 1 identified 4 recognized environmental conditions pertaining to the Maine DOT site. Nick Hodgkins, Maine Department of Environmental Protection, explains.
Contamination, and then your phase 2, when you come out here with a drill rig, mark your spots on the ground and actually take samples of soil and groundwater. You do that based on your RECs, your recognized environmental conditions that you identified in phase 1. So here today we're actually looking at taking samples of those RECs that were identified to see if there's any contamination or if they're clean.
Following this Phase 2 evaluation, the town of Pembroke worked with students from the Washington County Community College Building Trades program to design and retrofit the Maine DOT lot as the new Pembroke Municipal Building. The boat school property in Eastport is an example of using only the amount of Brownfields funds necessary to facilitate reuse. A Phase 1 investigation provides the site history from written records, whereas a Phase 2 investigation takes the next step and performs soil tests, groundwater boring, and other geophysical tests. Phase 2 investigation is therefore much more expensive. At the boat school, the Phase 1 report confirmed the likely location of contamination associated with boat manufacture, and those areas of the property were not used. The consultant and the reviewing agencies, Maine DEP and the US EPA, agreed that no further Phase 2 investigation was needed on the property because the boat school activities would continue on the areas with some past contamination. The clean portion of the property could be subdivided and sold to First Perry Marine for a fabrication yard for tidal power generating units. For more information or to nominate a site to the Washington County Brownfields program, please contact Judy East at the Washington County Council of Governments. Thank you.